JT Mitchell is joining us from SuperTalk Mississippi News. JT, great to have you back in.
Hey, Scott. Good to see you, man. How are you?
I'm well. A lot of things to talk about, including the Jackson mayoral race, which I enjoyed following on X last night as the election results were coming in. That was a fun race.
It was, and it wasn't surprising that State Senator John Horhn won. What was surprising was how he won, right? I mean, the first votes we got in was 12%. He's winning pretty big. 21%. He's winning pretty big. And he kept building upon that lead and never let go. There was never one time last night, as we got these results in, that the current mayor, Chokwe Ntarlamamba, had a lead.
Well, and it's interesting because he, I believe, received quite a few big-name endorsements during the campaign.
And on both sides. I mean, the current mayor, who will be in office until June 30th, he received endorsements from three former candidates, David Archie, Delano Funches, and James Hopkins. If you go back to the primary, I mean, everybody and their mother was running. You had 12 candidates. But then on the flip side, State Senator Horhn, he had the endorsements that really swung some weight. I mean, he had Congressman Benny Thompson. He had local business leaders like Gabrielle Prado, Jeff Good, Ronnie Crudup, the senior pastor at one of the largest churches in Jackson, and then not to forget Mike Espy, the former ag secretary. And he also he kept building on the support he had. I mean, he received over $100,000 in campaign donations in the 3 weeks between the primary and yesterday. Now, how much did the mayor raise? I wish I could tell you. He did not turn in his campaign finances, so I have no idea. He did say in a press conference that he hasn't raised much, if anything. But either way, everything fell into the right places at the right times for the current mayor of Jackson, Mississippi, to lose his position.
So, in all honesty, I had not been following this race or what had been happening in Jackson politics until I began to sit in here on SuperTalk Mississippi. But now that this runoff in this primary is over, going into the June election, it could be chaos again because there are several independent candidates who didn't have to go through the primary system, and they could skew the election results one way or another.
That's true. However, a non-Democratic candidate has not won this century the seat of mayor in Jackson. You do have some independents. You will have a Republican. The presumptive nominee is Kenny G. But, I mean, there was like 150 votes in the Republican runoff yesterday compared to around 20,000 in the Democratic runoff. I mean, John Horhn is likely. I am a betting man, and I will bet that he will be the next mayor of Jackson. And there's a lot of work to do. You know, he did and he'll keep campaigning, don't get me wrong, but he so far has done a tremendous job of capitalizing on the current issues facing the city that I call home, right? So I'm not saying this from an outsider's perspective. There has been a history of potholes, of dwindling infrastructure, of a lackluster water system that is now under federal receivership. There's blight. There's a need for more economic opportunity. And we haven't seen much growth in those realms over the past 8 years with the current mayor. He's done a great job of capitalizing on that, and it did not hurt that the current mayor is currently facing federal bribery and conspiracy charges.
I can only hope that the fireworks and council meetings continue because I saw some great videos on social media last night. As you talk about the potholes, JT, have you personally seen the hellhole at Denver and Long? I saw a picture of it yesterday.
And there's many examples of that. I mean, you've seen the pictures. Those go viral. But it's just scattered throughout the city, no matter if it's south, west, north, or east. And there's this history of patching it and patching it poorly. And, you know, you may have a pothole patched up in your neighborhood, and it might return 2 weeks from the date that crews were out there. And so there's a lot to be done because Jackson has an incredible amount of potential. It's the capital city. The capital city in a lot of places needs to thrive for the entire state to thrive. But part of that, Scott, is can you drive through it?
Right. And I got to tell you, roads are a big problem in every major city. We've got a crumbling infrastructure problem that's affecting every major city, big and small, across not only the state but around the country. And I think that's something that's got to be addressed at some point. And that comes with bringing more people into the state, increasing your tax base, obviously with changes in the phasing out of the state income tax, but also attracting new businesses to the state of Mississippi. And you had a story this morning about Amazon bringing a bunch of jobs to Marshall County, which is very exciting.
Yeah, the economic boom under the current governor. I mean, I say it all the time. If you want to criticize Tate Reeves, I'm sure that you can find a lot of outlets to do so, but economic investment is not one of those. I mean, we are well over the $32 billion mark since he took over as governor. That's the most out of any governor in state history. And if you go back, last year they broke ground right here in my neck of the woods in Madison County on 2 major hyperscale data centers for Amazon, creating thousands of jobs, largest private sector investment in state history. And Amazon apparently has liked their experience so far. Of course, that's not done, but they've liked it well enough that they announced yesterday they're bringing another large-scale investment, this time in North Mississippi. It's going to be in Marshall County. It's a project that officials say will create another 1,000 jobs, 930,000 square feet. And really, this is going to be a shipping center, where it comes to and then it ships out of. And so this is big for Marshall County. Marshall County recently got an EV battery plant. The economic boom has struck up there. And kind of to bring it full circle with our first topic, Holly Springs, which is the largest city in Marshall County, is also getting a new mayor as their mayor lost yesterday in her runoff.
It's interesting. I think Amazon has really created a sea change in the consumer sector, but also in the employment sector. I believe in supporting local businesses, small businesses, but I also get lazy, and I find myself ordering so much off of Amazon because I don't feel like going to the store for deodorant or whatever. I can just have it delivered to my door, but that affects all of the small businesses in the area. And now this is as small businesses are forced to close because more people are shopping online. At least some new employment opportunities are coming to the state to fill some pretty good paying jobs.
I mean, that's absolutely correct. More and more people are buying online. And so what do you have to do? You have to adapt and thrive. And in our situation, it seems like the state is adapting and thriving by saying, oh, everybody's going to Amazon. Let's bring Amazon to us.
JT, one lighter story. American Idol, which is a show that I admittedly have not watched in years.
Oh, come on,
but
Scott.
he's got I know. Look, I watched the first couple of seasons, but there's only so much Seacrest that I can stand, and he's everywhere now.
He is. He's on Wheel of Fortune now.
He's on Wheel of Fortune. Look, and Seacrest is a nice enough guy, but he doesn't have to take every job in this industry. He's taking all the DJs that are out of work because...
And he does the Hot 40 every Sunday morning.
That's right. Jamal Roberts is continuing to advance, and he's from Meridian, and that's great to see the state represented with so much talent in the state of Mississippi.
Hey, and if you're out there and you're like Scott Sands and you don't watch American Idol, don't be like Scott Sands. Tune into American Idol this Sunday. If you have not watched Jamal Roberts, just an incredible story. He is 27 years old, from Meridian. His day job is a PE teacher at Crestwood Elementary. And he just has, he was anointed by the Holy Ghost or something with the voice that he has. He's currently in the top 14 of American Idol. Now, this Sunday is a little bit different. Usually you can vote afterward. This time, if you want to see Jamal move into the top 12, you have to vote live. 7 o'clock Central. Hop on, get your TV on, vote live. You can text, call, app, whatever, 30 votes a person. Let's send Jamal to the next round.
I haven't watched the show, but I have watched the YouTube videos, and he does have an amazing voice. Even if you don't want to watch American Idol, you can still vote for Jamal, and that's very important. JT, great to see you. Congressman Trent Kelly will join us next. I'm Scott Sands in for Gerard on Super Talk Mississippi.